I understand Archie Gray, many a player when you're a 6 receives the ball in that position. Fine. Could he anticipate it better?
Don't pass it to him.
Could he scan it better? Yes, he could. However, his back is to the rest of the pitch. Vicario's got eyes. He's looking out. He does these passes quite often, to be honest with you, to Romero or Van der Ven or whatever. Vicario can see what's going on, okay? Don't play him that pass. Why have you played him that pass? You can see he's being pressed by Sangare. Maybe you just don't put him in that position.
Say to trust your players.
He's done that, but it's a stupid ball. It's an idiot ball to play.
It's bobbling,
so
it's nasty.
Vicario's played him that ball. Whatever. Gray's lost it. I give Gray about 40% of the blame there. 60% of that is on Vicario.
Could have played it on the first time.
Could have, 100%. Yeah, so Vicario doing what always does, shouty, mouthy keeper. Why don't you focus on your own game? Because you're not very good, mate. The second goal, lobbed. Positioning, terrible. He's the type of guy that will blame everyone else, shout at everyone else, and never wants to look at himself. The one thing I will say, which does kind of contradict that, is that when we do lose, he does always come out in front of the media. Fine, fair enough. He's got a bit about him that he does that. But as a player, he's not very good. And he's very lucky, the fact that there is Kinski on the bench, and Brandon Austin. That's it. He's not really being pressed for a starting position.
Why doesn't Palhinha start in that game?
Well, he started Bentancur. Because we've now gone to decide, and we've now realised that in his 4-2-3-1 formation, or whatever he's going for at the minute, that he's not going to play Palhinha and Bentancur together because you've got no movement, you've got no legs. So in the last few weeks, he's opted for a Gray over a Bergvall. I would prefer a Bergvall, but fine. He's opted for those two because at least you've got some movement off the ball. Sometimes he goes with Sarr. He did it, he went with Gray. I'm fine with him not playing Palhinha and Bentancur, personally. I'm fine with that. One is more than enough. If I then move into midfield, I barely saw Xavi Simons yesterday. I realised on the left-hand side, there were so many pockets of space. I don't know whether or not that Xavi Simons was meant to be picking up those areas or who was meant to be helping out Jed. I don't know. But there was so much space in these pockets that in the first half, I was like, we've got no midfielder. There's no one there. There's no one helping Jed. So at half-time, I was like, surely he's going to make a change. Surely he's going to bring someone on and like just help pack out that midfield a little bit. Didn't make any changes. Until we were then 2-0 down. Again, reactive, not proactive. Boring. Then you have a look and see who's bringing on. He's bringing on Palhinha. He's bringing on Ben Davis. So I think the fan base lost their heads. The heads went to the moon at that point when they saw Ben Davis coming on. Nothing against him. Been a brilliant servant to the club.
He's been used as such a scapegoat over the years.
I will never use him as a scapegoat. I think
he's a club legend. He's been there about 12 years.
He's been a very loyal, good player for Spurs.
Oh, that's the level, Rob, isn't it? That's the bar.
Well,
it's a low bar.
He's
never.
Not on Samsung TV, we don't.
Not on Samsung TV.
Slow it down there, Abby, right?
Audience.
Take it down a notch.
I can't swear, lads. I can't swear. So should I get that picture off the screen as well of me jacket? Anyway.
I like her jacket.
Everyone keeps saying, when am I going to wear the jacket? I'll wear it. I'm going to wear it to the Christmas party on Thursday, okay? I'm going to wear it. So... bring on Ben Davis, who I have nothing against, but realistically, when you're substitutions, you're trailing a game 2-0 and you're going to bring on Ben Davis? Like, why? Then you've got some attacking options on the bench. You've got Tell there. You've got Nodebert there. You've got Brennan Johnson. Like, yeah, they're all stinky, but surely you're chasing him. You're 2-0 down. Then you make the changes again after being 3-0 down. There was just nothing about us, which I say every week, nothing about us up front, nothing about us in the middle. And I honestly, I said this yesterday at work, what am I buying into here? You have to give me something. You have to give the fans something to buy and lock into. The style of play. What am I watching? There is no style of play. We're just terrible. It looks like 11 men just being sent out there and just walk in, being run through. No patterns of play. No aggression. Just there because they've got to pick up the pay packet. There's nothing good about that Spurs team. And I look at the manager and I know, I have said, and I know that he is a good coach. I know he's good when he's given time. I've seen what he's done at Brentford. We all have. Player development. This is where I'm going. Player development is very important, and that's great. He's done it. He did a brilliant job at Brentford. The expectation is way lower at Brentford. If we're talking about a Brentford or a Brighton, a club that you will get given time, Spurs can't give you time after finishing 17th last season. And I see people calling for Ange. You guys have forgotten how bad it was under Ange. But what I do get is they're saying, well, at least we tried. At least we attacked. At least we did something. At least there was...
You finished 17th.
A bit. I don't agree with that because I think we went so far away from whatever Ange Ball was last year. It wasn't that. And I'm like, all the focus went on the Europa League. Fine. Are you going to tell me that we're going to do the same again? All the emphasis is what's going to go on the Champions League. Do me a favour. It's all going to go on the FA Cup. We'll probably get knocked out. So this hindsight of Ange, guys, stop. That's
you lot need to move
that's
on
silly.
from that.
Like
Stinks.
it stinks. We finished 17th. We lost 22 times, and yes, great, we got the Europa League out of it. But anyone could have beat that lot. We beat them 4 times last season.
Yeah.
So hold. Thomas Frank, I'm sorry. I want it to work. I want to be proved wrong, but I know I'm not going to be proved wrong. However, I don't know, because I know that's going to be the next thing out your mouth.
I'm going to ask something.
I don't know who would fix Spurs. The only person that I have ever known, or the only few managers I've ever known, is Harry Redknapp, Martin Jol, and Maurizio Pochettino. So if you're going to say to me, you got to keep Frank for the rest of the season, and you finish where you finish, and then Daddy comes home after the World Cup, bring me Big Daddy Poch home after the World Cup, I'll take it.
Oh, really? That's what I was going to ask. I was going to be
Take
like,
it.
if you have to suffer for the season with Frank,
Suffer.
and then
Do you know why? Because firstly,
who's the
we
interim
have a
gonna be? Ryan
connection.
Mason?
We have a connection. And if you go and ask most Spurs fans, they'll say to you, there is not one bit of connection I feel. Go and ask Fuad. Because Fuad was actually
He wasn't happy.
Fuad was not happy last night, but Fuad was one of the ones that was like, I like Thomas Frank, bring me Thomas Frank. I see what he's done at Brentford. I see it. He's over the experiment
A lot of
now.
you wanted him.
I didn't want him. I've always said he was not my first choice, but I'll give the guy a go. I don't know what other style of manager can do anything. I've had every style. I've had every single Pokemon. We've caught them all, okay? Every single one. So the only one that I know that will get given time because of the track record, a style of football that we will all be happy with as fans, and one that we trust to be able to do something with a lot of nothing, is Pochettino. So if I have to ride out this season again and finish somewhere in mid-table or 17th again, I will do it if I know that that's who's coming back.
I'd love to see him back there personally, because the criticism that he's got from the US and what he did at Chelsea,
rightfully
it
so,
just
by the
feels
way.
like a good downward trajectory that he's on. And then if he goes to Tottenham and he just
He won't.
that whole fairy tale just
won't
ends
it?
there,
Yeah.
then they won't know where to turn next. But in all seriousness,
Let me tell you, if that doesn't work, I don't know what I'll do with myself.
Exactly.
I actually don't.
What
'Cause
will you do?
He's the only thing.
it's all you got
That's all
left.
you got left.
He's all I've
all
got.
you got
When
left.
you've gone through every single type of manager, you've gone through the Contes, you've gone through the Joses, you've gone through the
you know what
project
this is
managers,
like?
you've gone through the rock and roll football.
This is like,
What can I
if
do?
neither of us are married by 35, we'll
We'll
back
have a
together.
baby together.
Yeah.
And I think that's
this is
perfect.
what it is. This
Let's
is
do
you
it.
and Poch.
Let's
Like,
do it. Let's get back
Tottenham
together.
Poch.
You know
But-
what it is with Frank? Sorry, for me, with Thomas Frank, it's like why he was so good at Brentford is because I think his strength is looking at an opposition and going, right, this is how I'm gonna plan and set up my team to counter what they're good at.
Why can't
Which
you do
is
that
why,
with Tottenham?
Because Tottenham, you're often going into games as the favourite. The opposition manager will often do what Thomas Frank used to do in terms of preparing for the opposition game, which is why when he first came, PSG, he planned how to play against PSG. Man City, he planned how to play against Man City. But in games where you're expected to take it on and take the game to the opposition, his plan A isn't good enough.
So he can
And it was the same
only
thing at
be
Brentford, because he wasn't good against lower side or promoted or relegated sides at Brentford anyway. So I don't know, like he just hasn't figured it out. He's more planning to play.
Yeah, but then
against their
that
weaknesses.
that just shows you that this is not the right fit of
Yeah,
a manager. I said it
potentially,
I said it probably end of October time that this is in grave danger of becoming another Nuno situation when a manager is a good manager, a decent manager, but just the job, the club, all of it, the expectation is too big for him. And he's meant to be a great tactician. I ain't seen no tactics whatsoever. If you can only perform against big teams, but we haven't.
Start of the
Sorry,
season, yeah,
look
start
at
of
us
the season,
against Chelsea. Look at us against Arsenal. What am I clinging on to? A good performance against PSG, which inevitably we bottled anyway, and a good performance against City, who concede all the time anyway, and City, who were just kind of starting off the season a bit rocky. Like I've got nothing to cling on to, and I'm sorry to say, it's time for you to go, mate.
You badly.
He's got to go.
Outside the manager, you badly need Madison.
And
It's
Kulusevski. and
I think Madison
Solanke.
more than Kulusevski, because it feels like Simmons. He doesn't really have anyone to like play off. Like there's no combination play there.
Yeah.
And Kudus seems to be like, I'll do it all myself. He's more of a ball carrier. Yeah, head down he goes. Madison. It's actually very similar, I think, to the Foden Cherky thing, which is Foden likes to take the shots. Simmons was known for taking some decent shots. And you don't have anyone to fizz the ball into him through the lines. Your midfield is very flat. There's no good passing in there. And Madison would just bring a little bit more ingenuity in there,
I was
just a
going
little bit more
through their
creativity.
Team, right? The team that played on Saturday. You hear a lot of excuses from Spurs. Why are they so bad? Vicario, well, I don't rate Vicario.
Yeah.
But the back four, Porro, Spanish international, Ramiro, Argentinian international, Van der Ven, Netherlands, and Spence, English and international. Bentancur, Uruguay international. Gray, all right, young kids, but up and coming.
London Awards.
Come with a big reputation. Winner of the London Player of the Season.
Yep, Abby's favourite.
And then they got Kudus, top player, Kudus. Simmons, very expensive acquisition.
Dutch international.
Right. Kola Mawani, right,
I'm not even on
Kola Mawani was £80 million.
80 million asset.
He got sold to PSG for. And up front, Richarlison.
Brazilian international.
Brazil's striker.
Yeah, number 9.
Why are you so bad?
Why are you so bad?
Why with that team?
Tell was a wonder kid, Robbie. Tell was a wonder kid at Bayern.
Yeah, why are you so bad? Why?
It's not like, why are you so bad?
Why are you so bad? I don't know why they're so bad.
Because I don't understand how
it doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Guys,
that's why I look at the back four. I think you got good centre backs.
They're so bad.
You got good fullbacks. I get it.
Apparently, they have good centre backs. I'm not. Van der Ven is not a good box defender. Van der Ven.
I think they're centre backs. Doggy at left back. Torres a wing back. Spencer.
She's clashed again. She's clashed.
Why are they so?
I think they're missing someone in midfield that can really create from deep.
Of course.
And find attackers in good areas.
I think their midfield is very flat.
Just get on the
ball.
Like, look, I know that a lot of these players are average, and I've said that to you loads of times. I reckon there's probably...
No, but there's a lot of players here that are not average.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I reckon there's about 6 or 7 good players at Spurs, like very good players, okay? And then there's a lot of average and crap around them, okay? And I think when you look at the front area of the pitch this season, obviously I'm not using the injuries anymore as an excuse, but they're not good enough. The players at Tottenham Hotspur are not good enough. Kudus, it's been okay. But the thing is, we're not going to get on to Kudus because we like the signing of Kudus. Xavi Simmons wouldn't be... Look, Xavi Simmons has been a little bit more physical in the last few weeks. A lot of
teams wanted him.
Of course, let me finish. He would have been a very good option to embed himself over the course of a season. But because there's been no Maddison, because there's been no Kulusevski who can play in a 10.
He wasn't even playing Maddison last year.
He was injured, Rob.
No, but even when he weren't injured, he weren't starting games.
True. That is true.
Does it make you feel better?
Kulusevski could go in the 10.
Games?
Most of the time,
Maddison was not starting.
He had a long-term injury. He was out for months and months and months last year. Kulusevski was out for months and months and months as well. They haven't been. No one's been available. No one's been fit. Solanke, where's he been?
You know, a lot
Where
of these
are
players,
they?
I feel like a lot of these players are like either one good batch of form away from being a good player and one bad batch of form away from being a really bad player.
But look at the rest of the team. As soon as you go away from maybe like your first choice 11, like who could do all right, you go into like this pit of nothingness. And there's so much nothingness at Spurs. And that does come back on the recruitment. Would I love to say in an ideal world, I'd give Thomas Frank time? Yes. But I can't see anything that points in any direction that would want me to give him time right now.